everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a speed build of a modern house that I have decided to call Modern Mies. So I'm not much of a modern builder. I've tried many times and I've never been very successful at it. So this was kind of a bit of an experiment for me. But I was watching one of Deligracy's live streams the other day, and if you don't know who Deligracy is, where have you been? But she does amazing modern styled builds. And so I'm always really inspired seeing her do her modern builds because it's something that I really struggle with. So I was watching her live stream the other day where she was working on building and furnishing this beautiful modern house, and I was like, you know what? Today's the day. I'm going to get better and improve my building abilities and do a modern styled build. So, because I am a giant nerd, I enjoy a good Wikipedia rabbit hole, and I also enjoy learning new things and doing lots of kind of boring research. So I actually decided, before I started doing this build, to kind of research a little bit more about modern architecture and where it got its roots from, and you know, some of the big name players back in the day when it was like the new thing. So one of the most well-known modern styled architects is a man named Ludwig Mies van der Rohe, and I am pretty positive I'm mispronouncing that name. It's German, and I'm of German heritage, and I can't pronounce it correctly, I'm pretty sure. But anyways, so he commonly went by the name Mies, which was part of his last name. And so he did a lot of modern architecture. Like, he was hired by, and now I forget the name of the company. I want to say Bacardi. I forget. But in any case, he's been hired by a lot of different companies to build headquarters, and you know, he did a lot of buildings in the Chicago area, including the legendary Farnsworth House, which was one of the most famous and earliest pieces of like residential modern architecture. So I started reading about him because I had found on Google image search, I typed in modern house. That's all I did. And I found a picture of a house that I really liked. And when I did a reverse image search, it kept leading back to articles about him. So I don't think I'll put a picture of the house maybe in like the thumbnail or down below. This is still new editing software, so I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing. But I will put a picture of the house somewhere in this video so you can see the house that I modeled this after and the end result. They're pretty similar, I think. But anyways, so this house that I had found, I don't know if it was actually a house he built or if it's something that's in the style of what he would have built. I mean, it's one of the two. Either he built it or somebody else built it and styled it to look like something that he would have made. But anyways, so I found this house online and I was like, this is so beautiful. And like, it seemed simple enough that it was an approachable, like, first baby steps into modern architecture for me. Because the pieces, the lots that I've done so far of modern architecture, I did like a starving artist's abode a very long time ago, and I don't really like it. Like, I tried, but it did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. It was just kind of disappointing. And then completely by chance, I did what I called a modern mini mansion, which surprisingly has done fairly well on the Sims 4 gallery, which I was really not expecting that. I actually just sort of built that house on a whim for a current family that I was playing at that point. And that house, I really like it, but it's a little bit more of a mishmash of different styles than truly just modern. So this house that I had found is very, very minimalistic. There's not a lot of extras. So it's basically a giant glass rectangle. Well, 2 out of the 4 sides of the house are all glass. In The Sims 4, we have to do floor-to-ceiling glass windows in like a 2-square tile setup. In the original picture of the house, which you'll see, there's not that gap or that break between the window panes, like it's all smooth. And there are occasionally like pieces that are metal for stability. I assume they're metal. I'm actually not sure now that I'm saying that. But so, you know, because of the limitations of what we have available in the game, I kind of had to tweak that part a little bit. But basically, this is, in general, a very minimalist styled house, which, in theory, decorating and building a minimalist house should be easier because there's less things to put in the house. But on the flip side, it means that the few objects that are in the house had to be picked out very carefully. So everything that's in the house has a purpose of some sort. So like there is no clutter. Like there's, you know, on the coffee table, there's nothing there. There's a little tiny plant on the one end table between the two white sitting chairs in the living room area. And I only put that there because it's kind of a tricky balance, because you want the house to seem clean and uncluttered, but you also don't want it to seem like too sterile. And so I thought that putting in some plants here and there would be a good way to kind of liven the space up a little bit, because in reality, somebody would be living in this house. And, you know, it just seems a little bit more realistic to put in a couple of very small, understated plants to kind of liven up the place a little bit. So that's also why, like, downstairs the flooring is white and the walls are white. And then there are accent carpets. There's an accent carpet underneath the living room area, and there's another accent carpet underneath the dining room table. But both of those are also like white, or I think the one under the dining room table is kind of like, it's that off-white sparkly carpet that came out with City Living. But so that was my way of being like, okay, so this isn't a hospital. There needs to be like some material in this space to not only liven it up a little bit, but in reality, you would want something to kind of help absorb the sound so it's not so echoey. You know, houses aren't supposed to be total museums. This does feel a little bit more museum-like than other houses that I've done in the past, or quite frankly, any house that I would want to live in. I would probably never want to live in this house. But it looks like, I don't know, to me it seems like it would be a nice place to go, like, on a vacation. Like, if you were, say you're renting a house through, like, Airbnb or something, this would be a great house to do that in. And I actually, now that I'm saying this, I'm really hoping that someday we get something like that in The Sims 4. Like, personally, so I love traveling. I've always loved traveling, and I really loved having hotels in The Sims 3 with the Island Paradise expansion pack. And I've been praying that we get, like, the ability to, like, run hotels in The Sims 4. I did see in the teaser trailer for this first quarter of 2018. Ooh, that sounds weird still. 2018. Where we're getting a game pack that sort of looks a lot like World Adventures did, but something about it, I think it's another vacation world. I don't think it's like a tropical thing or like running a hotel. I think it's going to be more like going to Egypt from The Sims 3 World Adventures, which is cool. Like, I really liked that. But anyway, so that would be cool though if we could have like a Sims Airbnb type of rental place, because I did also like the idea of being able to own multiple properties in The Sims 3. So anyways, so back to the house. So everything is in like a white to very neutral color palette, except for the orange couch in the living room, which I only put that in there because in this picture that I found, and I found it in many, many places all over the internet in various sizes and whatever, there's like this bright orange couch that you can very clearly see through the windows in the outside pictures of this house. So I threw that in because I figured, you know what? Let's be true to the original. And with the bowling night stuff pack that we got last March, we have those like kind of retro-y styled couches and pieces of furniture, and there actually is a couch in bright orange. So I was like, you know what? Let's do it. I think the couch in the original picture is a little bit more traditional looking, which honestly doesn't make a ton of sense to me. I would have thought it would have been a little bit more contemporary. I also, this was so difficult. So I do put in this like fountain area outside, which is a little bit different because there isn't a fountain in the picture at all. But I was like, I need to do something in this yard. Like there's nothing here. So I put in the fountain on one side, and then the other side I put in some bamboo trees and rocks just to make it look a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more like a home. That's the thing with these modern homes. They're so boxy and so, I don't know, it's very easy to slide down that trail of having them look like this is a hospital room, or, you know, like I don't want them to look sterile. So, although it was really difficult off of the kitchen and dining room side of the house, where there's that covered patio area, I so wanted to like put a grill or a cute little patio table, but that would really not go with the whole idea behind this house. So I had to resist the urge. But yeah, so the other thing was that with the picture of the house that I found, I couldn't really tell where the bathroom was. So I'm assuming that it was like behind the staircase upstairs, like off of the bedroom. So that's where I placed it. I also decided that the bathroom should not be quite as sterile as the rest of the house. So it's still very, very sleek and modern looking, but it has like wooden walls. It does have a concrete floor, but it's not white. It's like more of a dark gray color. And then the bathroom basically uses a bunch of stuff from the fitness stuff pack, which stylistically, I think that might be one of my favorite packs. Like, I don't know, everything in it just goes together so well, and it goes really well with the stuff from Spa Day. But yeah, I also sort of briefly toyed around with the idea of putting an aquarium in the bedroom, but it's the one that was more of like a clean lines looking aquarium was so big, I decided to get rid of it. And I mean, like this bedroom, there's not much in it. I might have, I don't know, I could have put in a little plant in the corner there, but I also really liked the idea that the person who lives in this home might work from home as well off of the upstairs desk area, and I wanted them to have like this beautiful view of, you know, the world. So I did build this in Windenburg on the island, so if you wanted to place it in the same spot I did, that's where I built it. If you like this house and you want it in your game, there's a link to it in the description below from the Sims 4 gallery, or you can find it through Mrs. Tomato 1018 or my hashtag. Yeah, and if you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel. I'm working on coming up with some sort of a schedule. Haven't done it yet, but it's coming, I promise. And in the meantime, just be on the lookout for more surprise speed build videos from me. And I look forward to talking to you guys in my next video. Thank you. Bye.